Dgenz Crypto Daily, episode 47 is coming right up.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. That's right. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Let's go.
Dgenz Crypto Daily, news in the code. Riding on a blockchain, heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Trump gave us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon, and Ether's on fire. Holders in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Velo to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see.
Fortunes you can see.
Mining all those diamonds. Digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
Yeah, I do. I have you wild and free. Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? Welcome to Dgenz Crypto Daily, episode 47. On this, I think it's a Tuesday. Yeah, it is a Tuesday, October 8th. How y'all doing? I'm doing actually great because, we're approaching, a week and a half, maybe a week and 1 day since we started October. And while everyone's asking when October, I know it's going to happen, right? So I'm happy that we haven't really dumped too hard at the start of the month. Normally at the start of the month, there is sort of dumping that goes on in the markets just to find a low, right? Unless we have some major event. So I'm happy that we've only lost like 7% initially, and then we gained it all back. So we'll talk about Bitcoin in a second. Politify tokens are hot. I know that a lot of you guys are playing them right now. We'll look at that as well. And I'm taking your requests. I want to see what you want me to look at because there's a lot of tokens out there. Some of them have dumped in the last few days. Some of them are going to create a new low. Are you holding that shitcoin that is going to go to zero? Because there's always somebody holding something that's going to go to zero. Like, are you holding Moondang or Moodang, whatever it's called now? I mean, there's a possibility it goes to, 4 billion market cap, right? Crypto's just crazy. Who thought Shiba Inu was going to get to where it is now? Who thought Popcat is going to get to wherever it is now, right? So let's get into some of those meme coins as well, just to see where they are. And of course, we'll touch out all the coins that we track every single day. First, as always, this is your opportunity to follow me on Twitter or on X, wherever you want to call it. As well, you can go ahead and follow our Dgenz NFT account. We're an awesome community on Solana that works together really to get through this crypto thing we take part in our daily lives every single day. And I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to be well off on the other side of the bull run. So I'm looking forward to that coming to fruition. So if you're interested in joining our community, click on this link right here, right there, and you'll go to our Discord. We do have options in terms of what access you want in the Discord. Some of our area is gated by our NFTs. So if you want to get our crypto calls and conversations, you have to own an NFT. So go in there, ask questions. And maybe if you are ready to have some experience in taking our calls, like a lot of people are taking our calls through Blowfin, you can make money with us as well. So speaking of Blowfin, people that are trading with us, don't forget to scan this QR code. This will give you 10% off on all the trades you make with perpetuals on Blowfin. All right. So as long as you're taking our calls, make sure you have that referral scan because you can get money back. All right. And of course, Blowfin has all the perpetuals we trade. These are just RWAs a bit. There's VeChain and ICP, Pendle, AVAX, and so on. Lots to trade. Now, I mentioned this before. You don't have to trade all the tokens, right? You can just trade some that you kind of figure it out that are easier for you to trade because certain tokens just don't trade well, right? They're either manipulated or low liquidity on the exchanges, so they're easily dropped or brought up. So you got to figure out what token you want to trade, and then it becomes easier as you move forward in time. Lastly, before we start, if you want to interact with this stream, it's so simple. All you got to do is go to the stream's page. Right hand side, there's a chat option. You can say GM chart, just like that. I'll say what's up. And if you have an awesome request or awesome comment, I will post it on the stream and we can dissect it and talk about it. Sounds good? All right, so let's get into the news. Lots of stuff up today. So it says here, Bitcoin up 40% year to date, but gold wins on risk-adjusted returns. Well, of course, as soon as they started dropping rates, gold was going up, right? That's around the world too, because like most of these fiat currencies are priced against gold in some ways. So, for example, like if the strength of dollar goes down, that means the strength of gold goes up, right? So like if things are backed in gold, right, then the value of gold goes up. This is why the narrative around Bitcoin being a digital gold wins all the time, right? Because it's saying as more cryptocurrencies go into the marketplace, the more value is added to Bitcoin, right? Because most of them will eventually go to zero if they're shitcoins. If they're actually used like Solana, for example, or Ethereum or some other chains and applications that be used, fine, those can go up, right? Like Render, if the user base is still strong post bull run, perfect. But this is why Bitcoin is going to always win at the end. This is why MicroStrategy is buying as many Bitcoins as they possibly can, right? Because they understand this is going to be digital gold and we're in a digital society. And as we move forward in time, this is going to be just more true. So Gold wins currently right now, but wait until the bull run and everything else is going to be much, much easier to understand. The other thing that's interesting is as polymarket bettors shuffle odds on Bitcoin's creator reveal ahead of HBO documentary. So they're saying now that there's a possibility of Len Sassaman not being named Satoshi. So the consensus amongst polymarket bettors is that it's someone not on the list. Huh. That's interesting. The odds of the late Len Sassaman being revealed as the elusive founder of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, in an HBO documentary slumped to 14% after his wife, Meredith Patterson, said he was not, and that the company had not approached her when making the documentary. Huh. I wonder if she's hiding the fact that she owns a big amount of Bitcoin and she has the seed phrase. What do you guys think? Would you, if you were the wife of Len Sassaman, would you say, yeah, he's Satoshi? Think about the onslaught of attention she's going to get, right? From scammers, from people that she didn't know, right? From nonprofit organization asking for donations. Like, of course, if I were married to somebody and they proved to be Satoshi, damn right I'm saying no, he was not. So it's interesting to see that this just come around and we'll see what happens on Wednesday. So that's tomorrow. I'm actually really interested. It's a mini series, right? So this is going to be probably a few episodes before we find out. Most likely at the back end of the mini series. So there's multiple suggestions here. As of Tuesday afternoon Hong Kong time, other multiple has over 56%, with Sassaman taking 30%, ahead of Back, who has just over 11%, with over $13 million in bets. It's just a little crazy, honestly. People are betting on everything. I love it. I think the more power to you. If you can bet on anything, more power to you. Oh, this is interesting. Crypto.com sues SEC after getting the Wells notice. Did you guys know about this? The case seeks to prevent the SEC from unlawfully expanding its jurisdiction to cover secondary market sales of certain network tokens sold on the exchange. I was not aware of them getting the Wells notice. But that's the SEC, so like they only have jurisdiction in the US. So if you're a US-based customer, you're probably worried about making sure that you have access to your funds, right? But it's going to be this is extortion all the time, right? Nothing's going to happen to Crypto.com. It's going to be a situation where they pay a fine, they keep going on. They're not going to provide any more token sales on its platform or whatever until a new commissioner of the SEC comes in and takes care of everything. So I think for anybody who holds any assets in Crypto.com, I have some funds as well. There's nothing to worry, really. It's just going to be a fine and they're going to move on. Interesting article here about miners. It says here, Bitcoin miners at a crossroads, gain market share or go all in on AI. Investors rewarded mining companies that diversified into AI and high performance computing. That makes sense. At the end of the day, so the way I see mining at the end of the whole thing is every mining company has to reduce costs, right? And so as they move forward in time, they need to obviously have higher hash power, which requires more and more computing power and energy, right? So it's going to be a race towards cutting costs, and whichever company can find a way to cut costs better is going to win in the long run, right? Because the margins will increase by default. So essentially, it's asking these companies, what can you do to lower your cost of emissions or the use of energy in producing a Bitcoin, right? And so the race is going to be towards renewable energy, right? Because that's essentially net zero, right? So for whatever kilowatt you need, you gain by doing something else, right? And so I think this is why people who shit on Bitcoin and mining in general don't understand this fact, is that it is a progress towards that, right? It might take some time, but it's going to be a progress towards that. And I remember back in my early Bitcoin mining days, people were always seeking out sources of power that are cheap, right? Because again, your margins increase, especially on a large scale. And so people will be going to countries that have nearly free electricity, or even in fact going to places that are really, really sunny and provide solar electricity to the operations. So it's interesting to see, mining companies either trying to find a way to cut costs during, the expansion phase now of Bitcoin, or possibly divesting if they're not profitable into AI, because that would probably be more profitable. So it says here, investors continue to pay a premium for miners diversified into AI, and obviously because of NVIDIA. Thank you for fucking making everything more expensive. HPC data centers, despite pure play miners gaining market share. Marathon, Riot, and CleanSpark all saw higher production numbers in September than August. Exactly. I'm actually invested in Riot myself. I understand what they're trying to do. I know a lot of people are invested in CleanSpark as well. So it's good. All right, it says here, miners with the largest market caps like Mara, Riot, CleanSpark all increased their share of the total amount of Bitcoin mined last month versus August. These companies have much stronger balance sheets and larger mining operations, which is helping them navigate the reduction in mining profitability spurred by the Bitcoin halving, right? So for every halving, basically the profit margin goes by half. It gets divided by half. So if your margins are really slim, say 1%, now they're 0.5%, right? So if you try to cut costs, you increase that margin by doing something. So either, you have more efficient computing, right? Or you find a way to bring down that cost of computing. So the electricity that we talked about earlier. It's just interesting to see where things are, right? In comparison to each other. I can go over some of the mining stocks. I think we're past 9:30, so the markets are live. Let me go into and see what's going on with them really quickly. All right, just take a look at Riot. Let's go on a higher scale. So I think we talked about this before with Riot and all of them, right? They're going to have these runs, right? And I mean, you can easily see it, right? This was in 2017, 2018. Then we had 2020 to 2021, right? And then we're going to have another one right here. And I talked about this because I personally don't know whether or not we're going to have this run up to here, right? There's a possibility, right? Because we have rejections here, and there. That would mean, it's a 15x from where it is now. No, actually much more than that. It's at $8 right now. So it's about, about a 15x. Yeah, about a 15x. For stocks, that's amazing, right? So you take that and run. Okay. Also, you will note that, these EMAs are starting to cross. So the blue and the red EMA. So they're doing this. Which means we're going to get a run most likely in this section right here. Coincides with some old support turn resistance, right? And that will be the run. So I don't think mining companies will stay profitable for a long period of time. As you can see, right, these pumps happen so quickly and they went straight down. So I don't think that's going to be sustained either. So like we have the pump to that level, right? It might just come down and then hover for a few years, and then we'll wait until the next bull run, whatever that is, and then we go again, right, above that now. So I wouldn't hold much longer than the initial pump. Same thing with Mara, right? Pump to here, then down, right? We're looking for anything in this section. Clean Spark, right? Same kind of thing. These runs happen really quickly, right? So you can see that that's your bull run, right? And it's pretty good too. Like if we were to check how much we got from the bottom, yeah, 4,000%. I mean, come on, right? So expect something similar. I would say let's go up to here. So like anything in this section here. So $30. Now, can I get higher? Can it get higher than this last stop? Yeah, I think can definitely get higher. And so we say, all right, double that. That's 70, right? So maybe we get up to 70, like right there. All right, so that's pretty much taking care of miners. I think that's it for the news. I don't see anything specific that I want to look at anymore. But I want to get into Polidify tokens right now. So because we're going to be talking about them every day, I think they're important because they're going to be played hard and the volume is definitely picking up. So let's get into them right now. Okay. The two that we're tracking is Trump. Okay, so it's tricky right here. Why? Because, you know, we've had our run, right? We've had this run and then down. We did mark that spot at 30 and that hit, as you guys can see that, right? And so we ask ourselves, what happens next, right? I think if there's any drops, you can drop to this level again, so 30 cents, and then straight back up. Why? Because remember, we're bullish. So it doesn't matter what the MACD says right now. We're going to be bullish for the rest of the month. Okay. If there's any drop, that is going to be a gift. Okay. And if the price is holding steady here, make sure you're adding when it's dropping like that. This is on the 4-hour scale. Now, this can very well just stay up here the entire time. Okay. And then you're going to be asking yourself, when is it actually going down? That means the momentum is really, really bullish, right? It's just not stopping. So I want to show you guys on the daily scale. So one of the things I look for is, let me just go back, is the MACD, right? So right now the MACD is surging, right? You can see that there's no momentum bar switching. So this is the bar that I'm looking for. If I see something like this, I know the momentum is switching, right? Same goes here, then here, and then here, right? So I'm waiting for this bar to change, and then I'm going to go from there, right? For right now on the daily scale, we're looking great. Okay, we're surging, which means we still have more time. I think, honestly, I'm going to probably wait until we get to this level here. So that is this area here, between here and there, before we say to ourselves, okay, do we get out now? Okay, so we're going to look for this MACD to get into this section here, and then we're going to possibly get out. So that's on the daily scale. On the hourly scale, let me just remove these two. On the hourly scale, so we have this pinch, right? And you know, if you've heard me, you know, always talk about these pinches, right? They're bearish pinches. But one of the things that I notice about this token is that, you know, as it comes down, the price is holding steady. That means buyers are coming in and they're just holding the price up all the time, regardless of this move downwards. Even this move right here went to 30 cents and went to straight to, I think it was 41 cents in this move alone. Okay. So if you're adding, you make sure you're on top of this, right? If you're adding, wait for these crossovers, and then let's see what happens with the pull. All right. This pinch right here is most likely going to take this downwards. It could get to 30 cents again. I'm not sure. It all depends on the momentum, right? Current momentum is sliding, but this can definitely produce 3 more bumps like this. Okay. So that's the hourly scale. Let me zoom out. Right. We have, I think, momentum until we get to this line here, the blue line that we talked about before. So that line is there. Okay. That coincides with this section here. And then if we get crazy and we start pumping like crazy, then we got to watch out for this section here. That's like 83 cents, maybe $1. Okay. So if you guys can see this, so we hit that resistance here, right? We came down, retested at 30 cents, and then we're trying again. Okay. So most likely if we get rejected one more time at 40 cents, we're going to go down to that 30-cent level for sure. Let that be your opportunity to add to your position. Okay, so if we somehow jump to 40 cents today, it's going to be some selling. All right. But remember, we're looking for like a 3-week run. So in 3 weeks, we can probably have something like this, right? Like this, then jump, like this, like jump, like this. So this might be the initial wave, right? And then we go sideways for a little bit and then jump to the next wave, sideways a little bit, and then last wave into the new year. And so if you remember back here, when we're calling for this run, and we add 10x to that, that means most likely the top is at $1.30. So if we look at where $1.30 is, but look at that. It's right in here. So let's do that. Let's call that a 10x. Let's call that the top. Let's be happy with that. Okay? Let's just be happy with that. If it gets past that and it goes crazy, right? I mean, remember, if we get a 10x from that low, that means the market cap is going to be about 120 million, maybe a little bit more. So you got to ask yourself the question, is it going to be way higher than that? If anyone's a Trump holder right now, do you think it's going to be higher than, say, like 200 million market cap? Yeah, give me a comment if you think so. All right, so that's Trump, okay? The other one we're watching is Kamala Harris. It definitely has a really big run in it. We just got to be patient. Why do I say that? All right. So we talked about this head and shoulders thing. So shoulder, head, shoulder. We are definitely going to get a pump out of that into this section here. Okay, so be ready if you want to sell there. Okay, if you're trading. So that is, you know, this section there. Let me see where that would be. Yeah, let's just do it here. So 1.68 cents. All right. Now, if somehow we get crazy again and we reach the top, we're selling about, yeah, let's do it. I can say here, that would be a safe spot. But, you know, is it possible we get to like 500 million market cap for Kamala Harris? I don't know. It all depends on you guys at the end of the day, right? Anybody who's trading it, everybody who believes in it, you know, how many people you can rile up and ask to buy at the end of the day, right? And so it's all up to you. So you guys got a lot of work to do if you want to have a higher market cap. Right now it's 9.68 million. A 10x from here would take it to 9 cents, which will be amazing. It'll be a 90 million market cap. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. But you guys got to make sure you promote it. And you know, tell everyone about it, right? Because your volume is really good. You have 500,000. You have lots of transactions, lots of makers. But you need more than that. Okay? You need a lot more than that. Okay. We've gone over some Politify tokens. I'm going to take a look at some other ones as well. I believe MAGA is one of them. Let me find them on. No, I need some more chart history. This is a weekly. Let me put it on daily then. Okay. So I'm thinking like it's going to test that top. That's $37. There's a possibility of that, of course, right? So one of the things I'm going to do is put a trend line together. So the way I do with them is I look for resistances, right? Hard resistances tell me a story, right? It tells me that that level was rejected for a reason. People did not like that level for a reason. So what I do is I line up my really strong support with a really strong resistance. So in this case, it's right here. Okay. All right. So now I say to myself, this has to be tested at some point. It has to be tested. Actually, you know what? When I look at this, I'm going to go right here. Right there. Because I'll tell you the reason for that. So these wicks are overreactions. Because, you know, when you have stop losses and things like that, you know, guys who are hunting would try to trip that, get that wick up, and then sell it at a higher, much higher valuation. And then price action will go right down. So a lot of sellers will come in here and then push it back down. It happens so quickly, you don't have the time. And you can see that there's support here, support here, support here, and then follow through and then down. So then now we have this pretty good line put together. We're going to look at anything in the upper area of this line as a way of saying, come November, we're probably going to test that level. So I think we will get to the top. We'll actually get to that $15. I don't know about the very, very top, which was like whatever, $37, but definitely this right here. So if you're holding MAGA, I know it's producing a rejection at this level. It's the 200 daily EMA. There's going to be continuation from here, especially because the election cycle is still ongoing, right? There's going to be some interest, right? So the whole point is there's going to be a lot of interest into this, and people are going to be talking about it, and they're going to want to talk about it, and Twitter is going to be, you know, glowing with people recommending this coin, that coin, right? But there's going to be only a certain amount of tokens that are going to get a lot of volume, a lot of eyes on. And so you got to be on those specifically, right? Because those are the ones that get the volume. So I think MAGA on ETH is going to get volume for sure. I think we're going to get to this level again, which is a comfortable 4x roughly. Okay. The other one I think is called MAGA. No, not MAGA. MAGA hat, I think. Is that it? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, it's the same thing. Yeah, okay. Same kind of thing, right? If you're drawing your trend lines, okay, let me do it again. So there, right? Similar kind of thing where, you have your support, broken down support, touch back, and then down. Okay, so if you're looking to learn how to do that, this is how you do it. Or if you have any questions, go to our Discord and ask away. All right. So again, daily looks like to be surging, right? MACD looks good. It's going into the positive territory, which means it's just going to keep going up. This is a nice little pop, but I think it's going to continue. All right. So I think this level is going to be broken, probably going to get up to here, right? So if I'm putting some resistances, I'm looking at probably here. It's a good spot to have. All right. So it's about a 70%, 80% from where it is now. Okay. All right, so those are the Politify tokens I want to look at. If there are any other ones you want me to look at later on, please let me know. Like tag me on Twitter, tag me in Discord. Just let me know what it is, and I'll take a look. All right, we've done all of that. We haven't even talked about Bitcoin yet. Let's do that. What is it doing? What do you think it is doing? So to me, it's very simple, right? On the daily scale, this is trying to reset. All right. And so we're getting this momentum to get smaller and smaller. And then eventually we're going to get this bullish momentum just like that. Okay. Once we get it, we're probably going to be up here. And alts are going to be surging. So I'm noticing that there's a pretty good hold happening right now, right? We haven't dumped to this level or further down than that. A lot of people are calling for that 55,000, right? I said, you know what? That's more of a bearish move because it's going back into this channel again. So I wouldn't say that it's going to be a dump to that level. Especially with this starting to pinch, momentum going this way, right? We're holding above, right? EMA supported. Like there's so many things that went right. So I think we're okay. In the next couple of days, we'll see what happens once this crosses over. All right. While that's happening, we're waiting for the dominance to actually dump, and it's not dumping. That means alts are actually getting destroyed. Liquidity is going from alt maybe into Bitcoin. That's a possibility. Or it's going into Tether, which I don't think that's happening because the Tether dominance is kind of dropping. Remember what we said about market dominance for Bitcoin. It has to drop for us to have an alt season. You guys can see this now. We have this weekly 365. That's 1 year EMA. It proves to be a very, very strong resistance, right? Will it surge above that? I hope not, right? Because we really don't want to be up here. We want to be down here. right? As you guys can see this, right? The 200 EMA proved to be a good resistance, and then a pop, and then straight down into the bull run. Here too is trying to pop over. Maybe it does that too, where it goes to here, pops and scams down, which would be nice. We talked about this this MACD trying to cross over, right? We wanted to cross over like this and then go down, but you know, it's up against this resistance. We'll see what happens there. I believe it was October of 2020 when we had a resurgence. Let me see if that's the case. So let's look at dominance in October of 2020. So September, October. So this was October. Oh, look at that. Lots of similarities here, right? So we had start of October was here. We had a run up to the EMA, pump over, and then straight down, and that started the bull run. So I don't know if you guys are ready for it. I know I am, right? This is why I'm happy and bullish every single day. You guys wonder what the hell's wrong with me. Chart, what's wrong with you? I'm like, listen, I just have to look at history, past history, and see that, you know, we're now on the positive side of the market cycle. And so every day forward is not bearish. So what is tether dominance doing? Well, I know it's suggesting a move up, but I don't think that's going to happen. Again, we talked about this. Pinch is going to eventually happen. Okay. Any week now, right? Because this is a weekly scale. Any week now, we're going to get this pinch, and then the action is going to go south. And so we're waiting, right? We're being patient and see what happens, right? There is a lot of anticipation for this market to get started. So I'm looking forward to it, even though sometimes it doesn't look like it. You know, we ask ourselves, when October? Well, it's here, right? It is absolutely here. Just that I know now it's not being shown. See this right here? That's going to be the last move for the shoulder, the right shoulder. Most likely gets another rejection here. So it goes like this, like that, and then down. Okay. Total 3 is the market cap of all altcoins. It doesn't include Bitcoin or ETH. Again, we're just waiting, right? We're sitting on this EMA. We're just waiting for this reset. Whenever this happens, right? Whenever we get something like this, right? You can see what happens. Okay. So we're waiting for this to happen on this side. Whenever that is, we'll get this run. Okay. Now, I don't think it's going to get past this section here, but of course, I could be totally wrong. We can totally get past that and then get into the bull run. I'm not sure if you guys are posting comments in the streams section. I want to remind you that you can do that on this side right here. Click on a request like, hey, can you chart say for me? Just like that. And I'll say, no problem, I can do that. Okay. So we're waiting for this say explosion. I know we have to be patient with it because Bitcoin is being a bitch, but we got to be patient, right? Good thing is it's holding, right? In this section above those EMAs. It's not dumping past that. This is slowly resetting, right? We want it to reset to the point where we can cross over for the bulls again. And then we're looking for exits, right? So I personally think it's going to get up to here, that $1.06. Okay, I really think it will, because we saw that in Sui, right? We saw that pump in Sui right there, and then down. So just got to be patient. Your time will come. I think we're going to get that action really, really soon. All right. Sui, let's see what happened to Sui, because it was surging the other day. And see that? It went straight to, went straight to that level, like this level here. And so now it got to that top, which is fine. Like we said before, it's fine to get to that level, right? Normally you would be selling here. If it gets to there, whatever, you know, you want to take on that risk, fine. But I think it's going to come down like it should, right? This has to reset, like this MACD has to reset. It's going to come all the way down and reset and go back up again. Okay, so if you're holding Sui right now, just ask yourself the question, are you a holder or you're a trader? If you're a holder, then this means nothing. If you're a trader, you're obviously thinking about de-risking right now, and that's a spot you should be de-risking. We're contractually obligated to talk about Opulus. I'm joking, of course. But we do see some regression here, right? It's trying to hold. The problem is I don't think there's enough momentum right now. Why? I have no idea. We should be definitely bullish. We should be at least up here. Sorry, at least up here. Because, you know, we need to be safe. Right now we're under those EMAs. And so I'm wondering, like, when surge? One pump, right? I'm not concerned at all. I keep saying this, and I really mean that. Nothing has changed for me for Opulus. I'm still waiting for this bullish activity to resume to the upside. I've seen it happen now twice in 2 years. So it's definitely going to happen again. When? Nobody knows until it happens, right? I remember Voyager of 2020, which was BQX and then changed its ticker to VGX. And I remember, like, out of nowhere, it went from 5 cents to 25 cents and then from 25 cents to $1 before anything. And it was front running so many alts. And, you know, you just never know sometimes, because all it takes is a couple of things to happen and everything fits into the right spot in terms of sentiment and activity and, you know, releases by the team, and influencers are talking about it, and market makers are making their moves. So a lot of things can happen at the same time. And so I'm not worried about Opulus at all, even though it's at, you know, whatever level it is now. We're talking about Velo as well. So we did get that drop, right? We got that drop to the EMAs. And we talked about these EMAs have to hold, have to. Okay, if they don't hold, it's going to be bearish, right? Which means this price action is going to get down to here, and then it's going to take a while to get going again. We really don't want that, because then it creates this pattern right here. That means it's going to take time, right? We don't want that pattern at all. So let's see what happens. If you're a holder, this doesn't bother you at all, right? And in fact, if it takes long, it's actually good, because we can get way higher. All right, it's been 53 minutes. Oh my God, it's been so quick. I'll take on one more request really quickly. Thank you for participating, by the way. Pyre. I can get into Pyre right now. Okay, so it's actually pretty crazy it went down that far. It's way lower than all of this price action here. Right. So, I mean, is it a bad thing? Normally, if it was a stock, I would say it's terrible, right? Because it's just what happens normally is it confirms this turning into a resistance and it just keeps going down. So shorters come into this level and off they go. Because this is crypto and we're into a bullish territory, I would be buying these levels. So if you are, thinking about buying Pyre at this level, it's great, because if we get to this level in October, that's an easy, 3.5x, about almost 400%. Right. So let me just do that. Yeah, 335%. It's good. Right. So don't worry about price action right now. Just add to your position. I really like Pyre. Just because, like, when you zoom out, right, it has those types of setups. Like, I really like this long consolidation setup, right? Because eventually we get to the upside and it's going to be too late for people, as always. And this line is going to be tested, right? So we're looking at like $50, right? So let me see, your potential gain is 22x. I mean, that's pretty nice. Anyhow, all right, so that was it. That was episode 47. We talked about a lot of things. And I do appreciate everyone joining me today. We'll be back tomorrow for episode 48. Who knows what happens tomorrow? Maybe we get that crazy run we always want. Thank you again for being with me. See you tomorrow.
News in the code, riding on a blockchain, heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Chart gave us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon, and ether's on fire. Holders in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping, cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
Farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Velo to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping, cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see.
Fortunes you can see.
Mining all those diamonds, digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto, that's the key. Stay up got you wild and free.